Yep. Yeah, we're live. Hey, everybody, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Master 88 here. Welcome to another open chat, people. Been a little while since I've done one of these. I announced in my last update that an open chat would be happening. Well, today's the day. I'm doing an open chat. Basically, there is not really going to be a main topic this time around. It's pretty much anything goes. I mean, we can talk about basically whatever you all want. That's basically like Linux, tech, whatever. So before I start inviting people, I just want to give a brief update to the status of Linux History Shorties. Um, the research into the next episode is pretty much going to be completed soon. I'm just trying to pretty much get as much info as possible because I want the next episode of Linux History Shorties to be a really good episode for you all. So expect that to be coming very soon. I just want to also say thank you very much for all the get well wishes for my surgery recovery. I'm just letting you all know I'm doing great. Um, it was a little rough for a while, but the recovery went great. And I'm pretty much now back to doing awesome content just for you guys once again. Just letting you all know. If you all want to keep up to date with everything I do on my channel, you can pretty much hit the notification button to pretty much be notified when a new video comes out. But anywho, it's pretty much anything goes open chat night. We can pretty much talk about whatever we want. So without further ado, I'm going to start inviting people. Just letting you know, you can, if you want to be invited into the open chat, you can email me at ricky.clay@gmail.com. That's where I'll be accepting. That's where I'll be accepting invitations for the open chat. Ricky.clay@gmail.com. My Gmail is in the description below. So, but in case you all don't see it, I will pretty much put it in the live chat here, just so you all can get to it. So there you all go. Ricky.clay@gmail.com. Email me there, and I will accept your invite. Okay. There we go. Okay. Looks like I got to send my invite. Hey, Brian. Hey, Ben. Well, you got the shirt.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's good. By the way, that you got the shirt.
Yeah.
I can't hear you, dude.
Oh, there we go.
Hey, Ricky. Hey, Brian.
I
Hey.
can't hear you, dude.
Oh, there we go.
Hey, Ricky. Hey, Brian.
Hey.
Wait a minute. One of us has their stream thing on. Hey, Ricky. Hey, Brian.
Yeah. Brian's trying to
One
fix
of us
it.
has their. Yeah. So, Ricky, while he's messing with that, so I had a topic idea.
Oh, really? Well, it's anything goes night, so fire when ready. I mean, I suppose. I mean, you can give an update to Storm OS.
Well, we will do that, but I also thought about, touching on Hackintosh a little bit. Like, you ask me questions, things like that.
Oh, yeah, we can do that. We can do that.
Yeah, because, I mean, you haven't had a lot of coverage on that on your channel, so I felt, what the heck.
Well, the thing is, I don't think I even had any coverage on Hackintosh at all, so I mean...
Yeah, I figured we'd plug that a little bit.
If you want to explain to the audience what Hackintosh actually is, fire when ready.
All right. Well, what it is it's essentially putting the Mac operating system on a non-Apple computer. And this kind of thing, while the only way you could really get in trouble doing that, as it's not in the standard Apple EULA to do this, the problem with it is that there were a couple companies back when this was first starting out, like SciStar, and they were, and also there's this new one called Open Core Computer, and both of them got shut down because they were selling retail copies of Mac OS pre-configured to run on a Windows machine.
Mm-hmm.
And they were pre-installed on the computers, and Apple flagged them and put lawsuits against them, and Apple won, of course, because this kind of thing was not technically condoned by Apple. So, yeah, they basically lost out, and those who paid the money never got their machines. So, yeah. Now, if someone does this for their own use per se, and they don't charge any money for it, blah blah blah.
like
You're-
basically for
If
basically
they
for
did this for their own use on any machine that they wanted,
Yes.
but did not sell it, then it's not a big deal.
Okay. Hopefully that.
Welcome back, Brian.
Thanks.
All right.
okay.
But
Effing-
yeah.
Yeah, I figured out what happened.
yeah.
Well, Ricky and I are talking
Continue
some
your
tech
discussion,
shit right
Ben.
now. But yeah, if you don't understand it, don't worry about it. It's just some.
Where me and Ben are talking about computer stuff. If you don't understand it, Brian, that's okay.
Okay, not a problem.
Yeah. Regardless,
But what you're saying, Ben, though, is if somebody like Hackintoshes their computer for their own personal use, then that's okay.
yeah, if they wanted to, yeah. Now, where it first started was in the Mac OS 10 Tiger days. So this was because what happened was Tiger was released in two different forms.
Mm-hmm.
One for PowerPC and then one for Intel after Apple changed to the Intel form. And so after the Intel phase, basically when that happened, Macs became more like PCs in a sense. So it was very easy for the hackers out there, or certain tinkers, we'll say, to take the Apple kernel, the Darwin kernel as they call it, and transition it to, well, Darwin has always been open source, but Apple branded it their own for reasons I can't really get into because I'm not really familiar with that level of the story. But make a long story short, they hacked or modified the Darwin kernel from Apple to basically run on non-Apple hardware, and actually well, either way, they took the XNU, Darwin, whatever, and basically made it possible to run on non-Apple Intel computers, and hence a Hackintosh was born. So then they basically patched it and allowed it to run, and then they redistributed it, a patched Mac OS ISO. And
Okay.
that's basically how it's been done at first. But then a lot of people were kind of triggered by that. Honestly, don't know why, but a lot of people are like, "Oh, that's not the vanilla way, you idiots!" And so they
So are you saying some people got trigger happy over it?
over patched Mac OS, yeah. Which honestly is not even gray area. That's completely illegal, but it does dumb down the process a little bit.
Okay.
But regardless, there were some folks in the Leopard days when Leopard came out, so that created this bootloader called Boot 132 that allowed you to use a Leopard retail DVD and actually boot it on a substandard home PC or a laptop. Now the problem with that is that it did not contain all of the Hackintosh KEX, or AKA drivers, that were needed to run on a standard Windows PC. Then, so if you did that, you'd have to install the bootloader manually, which back at that time was called Chameleon. And you also needed to patch what's called your machine's ACPI files, which is a pain in the ass. And also, you'd have to install your machine-specific KEX only, and that is so. That's hence why these patched versions were created.
So basically, that's pretty much Hackintosh in a nutshell, per se.
Well, in the old way, yes, but it gets worse. So around the time
how worse does it get?
I'm about to tell you. Well, around the days of macOS Lion, Mountain Lion, things like that, the more modern, we'll say, operating systems, we get into this thing which was originally called XPC, which was used to boot the Mountain Lion or the Lion developer images. But then this is where it gets funny. That bootloader was a pain because in the Mac sense of things, if you built the bootloader from, let's say Mac OS, you had to download, we'll say, you had to download the bootloader manually, run a terminal command in order to get it to load, and you reboot into the Lion developer image off a flash drive, which was very convoluted and not for Hackintosh new, mind you. And this was also around the time of like UniBeast and MultiBeast, different kinds of bootloaders, etc. Anyway.
Hold on just a second.
All right. And Speaker is now home, which is nice.
Yeah. Okay, what I want to do now is I actually have a bit of a topic to go over, and I think Brian pretty much knew that I was going to talk about this.
Oh, this I gotta hear.
We'll come back to the Hackintosh story when you get his topic.
Yeah. Some breaking news in the Pokemon world came out like literally, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before. I didn't get to see this. Gen 9 has officially...
It was yesterday. It was on Pokemon Day.
It was yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have 3 new starters. We don't know the name of the region yet, but I'm pretty sure we're going to know soon enough. But we know the region...
on Spain.
So my friend was correct. It is Spain.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy. And, okay. Now, the reason why this is so important, people, is Spain's never been a Pokemon region before. I was honestly hoping for Norway because I like the mountainous region, and if they would have gone in the Norway direction, we would have had most likely some new ice types.
Yeah.
So, but I could pretty much see why they didn't, because I'm guessing there was a lot of interest in making Spain into a region, per se. So, but anywho, let's get to the meat and potatoes of this. We have a new fire starter, people. And
so, the question is, out of these 4, Ox being the strength talisman, Horse being healing, Snake being invisibility, and Sheep being astral projection, which of these will be next?
And our survey says...
I'm thinking Snake.
It could be Snake. It could be because basically me and Brian were talking about the fire starter off screen a little while ago, and we think that basically there's going to be like a reverse evolution type thing to happen. The fire crocodile is going to become the snake, which is a big possibility.
Yeah, because as you've noticed, since Gen 1, all the fire starters have been based off of the Chinese zodiac.
Mm-hmm. And there's only like, I think, 4 Chinese zodiac animals left, Brian?
Yeah, the ones that I just mentioned.
You said ox, snake,
horse, and sheep.
Horse and sheep. Give me just 1 second. I got another message coming through.
You got it. But yeah, we don't know the name of the region yet.
No, we don't. But I'm pretty sure. Give it a few months and we'll know. And did they say, Brian, whether this is going to be on a next gen console or is it going to be on the Switch?
It's the Switch and it's open world.
Just like Legends Arceus.
Yep.
Hmm. Let's see.
And it's coming this year too.
Uh-huh. That's good.
Yeah. Late. So I'm thinking November-ish.
Yeah. Hey, Seeker. Welcome to the channel, buddy.
Is he in the he's in the live chat?
He's in the YouTube chat. Yeah.
Okay. Let me look at that. Hey buddy.
Yeah.
Welcome home.
Yeah. We're talking about Hackintoshes and Pokemon.
Hackintosh, Pokemon. If you didn't know, Seeker, this is a anything goes open chat tonight.
Yeah.
There is no main
There's no
topic.
like
There's no main topic because I didn't have enough time to get a main topic established. But in the next open chat that I do, there will be a main topic. Rest assured. It's
This
just
one's basically freestyle.
this is basically a free for all. Anything goes.
Yeah.
That's why I named it Anything Goes Open Chat because we talk about whatever we want.
Yep.
Yes.
But
was-
I will
Sorry.
but I will also say since it's 2022 Seeker, this year will mark 20 years since the establishment of Arch Linux. So Arch Linux will be having a birthday this year. And for those who don't know what Arch Linux is, it is a free and open source operating system that can be ran on 64-bit machines. There is a specialized kernel that can work with Macs. You just got to look for it, but it's there. Also, you can pretty much customize this operating system however you want. You can make it look like Windows, or you can make it look like Mac. It's pretty much up to you. You can even choose your browser, your theming, your wallpaper, whatever you want.
The whole 9 yards, huh?
It's not like Windows or Mac to where you're pretty much locked down to just a default wallpaper, but you can add other pictures later on, or like a default layout like you have your dock, your panel bar up top, or in Windows, you have your start menu, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. You can actually make this operating system any way you want. At some point around April or May, I will be doing a live installation of Arch Linux from scratch. This way people can see just how it works. Now, there's going to be a lot of keyboard typing here, people. This is not easy. My buddy Ben here knows exactly where I'm going with this.
Yes, and I'll be there on camera with Ricky to answer any Arch-based questions because here's the thing. I've installed Arch like the back of my darn hand thousands of times.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So basically, this is gonna be like a live tutorial, but that won't be until either April or May. I gotta schedule that in.
Mm-hmm.
Other things I want to say as well, because I want to get back to Gen 9 for just a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Since I know it's going to be on the Switch, most likely, I'm guessing when the pricing comes out, Brian, it's going to be like, I don't know, almost $60 minimum.
Give or take.
Okay.
Of course, I'm not going to be getting it in the store.
Oh, no. Knowing you're going to get it digitally. Exactly.
But if I was going to go to the store, I would just have to do one thing.
What?
I'd have to let my
Let me guess.
Oh shit!
I had a feeling.
I knew this was coming. We can't see it. What is
It's
that?
Instincts Awaken!
If you don't know what that is, Ben, that is an exclusive Power Ranger morpher that is
Not adapted yet.
not adapted yet, but it's coming at some point.
Possibly after Dino Fury.
Ah.
Oh,
the last
really?
The last time I watched that series was the Wild Force. I think I don't.
Oh, dude, you gotta catch up.
Oh, and also, the second half of Dino Fury, first 11 episodes, on the 3rd of next month on Netflix.
Oh.
Oh, dang, they're moving Dino Fury to Netflix?
Exclusively.
Ooh!
So while I'm waiting for Access Link to go to Quaker Bridge, I'm going to binge the thing.
Oh, you have a right to, dude. You have a right to.
So, yeah. So anyway, back to Gen 9.
Back to Gen 9. So, okay. Okay, let's go over what we know.
We know the starters.
We know that we have a fire crocodile. We know about
we have a grass cat.
We have a grass cat, but we
and
don't.
a Donald Duck ripoff.
Yeah, the duck with the beret on its head. But I'm guessing at some point we're gonna know their middle evolutions and then their final evolutions.
And I'm not picking my starter until we get those.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lay a finger on any starter until I know which one's which. And here's the thing, Brian.
Please, Game Freak, you've done a great job since the Fennekin line.
Do not bring the curse back. Just please don't bring.
Since Gen 6, you've been so good. We've had Fire Psychic, Fire Dark, Pure Fire.
Now,
do not bring back firefighting. Or you will get a piece of Uncle Extra Crispy No
But no. But
you knew I was gonna do that.
Yes, I did. But no. Here's the thing. The big compromise, though, is that if a firefighting is introduced as like a random encounter, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that I won't argue with.
Or if it's a legend, or if it's a legendary or a mythical. If it's one of those three, I'm okay with.
Same.
When it comes to mythicals or legendaries, now here's the thing. We know Japanese mythology to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
We know the England mythology to a degree because we learned a lot when we did Sword and Shield.
Exactly right. With Galar.
Yes. So now the big question is like, what's Spain going to be on? And the one thing that came to my mind is, how could we forget the legendary city of gold, El Dorado? Maybe that'll be adapted into Pokemon.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what I was thinking, Brian. You pretty much get to the legendary city, right. And on top of one of the buildings, will sit a shiny Ho-Oh, and you'll be able to encounter this shiny Ho-Oh. That's
as an example, I take it.
Well, no. It's an example, yes, but at the same time, a shiny Ho-Oh on top of the legendary city of El Dorado. I mean, that would be
that does make sense because El Dorado is the city of gold.
Exactly, and shiny Ho-Oh.
And Ho-Oh was the gold mascot.
Not just that. If you look now, for some people that have not watched the very first Pokemon anime, Ho-Oh debuted in the very first episode.
Yes, you are right.
So if you pretty much go by the anime, he was the very first legendary to ever appear in Pokemon.
Yes.
I mean, a little before Mewtwo and a little before Mew.
Right.
So you could say that even though Hoa was Gen 2, he's technically, because of conditions in the anime, also a Gen 1 Pokemon.
Exactly.
So he's like the only Pokemon that has been both in the red, blue, and yellow era and the gold, silver, and crystal era simultaneously.
True.
No,
very true.
no other Pokemon has ever done that.
Yeah.
But I will also say, though, the one thing I will say is I am liking Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl still. I just beat Cynthia not long ago.
And let me guess, she gave you a run for your money.
I'm not gonna lie, they upped the difficulty on her team compared to the last time. Well, compared to Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, because I never played the original games, and this is my very first time facing her.
How do
Everything.
you like her Garchomp having rough skin?
Well, I knew he had rough skin. What I was trying to do was try to figure out like a looping mechanism I could use against it. This way I could get its HP like down every single turn without really doing much.
Kind of like what I did with swapping Luxray and Staraptor with the Intimidate.
Essentially, that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to lower its attack so much, but unfortunately, every time it still attacked, it did a lot of damage.
Yeah. Plus, don't forget that thing is jolly natured.
Well, yes, it's going to be a little bit faster than most dragon types, and that's because of that nature alone.
Yeah.
But I will say though, she in my opinion is one of the best champions.
No argument here.
But in my opinion, if you had to guess who the other best Pokemon champion in the entire game series is, in my honest opinion, the other one has to be Lance.
Oh, hell yeah.
I mean, 3 Dragonites, but here's the thing though. Yes, he has 3 Dragonites,
but they're all under level 55.
And they all have different movesets.
That too.
I mean, each one of them has a specific different move. I think from what Cheka Conroy said in his Crystal playthrough, I think one of them had Thunderbolt, I believe?
Yes, that is true.
I will also say, though, that...
I had to. So, please forgive me!
Oh, boy.
I'm pulling out all the stops!
Well, here's a thing. Comedy relief for the win, I guess.
Yeah!
But...
Hey, come on! As it says, anything goes!
Yeah, that's what I said. Anything goes. But I will also say, though, when it comes to Gen 9, I could easily tell the graphic engine Game Freak was using is the same exact engine from Legends of Arceus, because if you compare the trailer and Legends of Arceus side by side, it's the same exact engine. There is no differences.
Yeah, plus, don't forget, for Scav, the gameplay isn't final.
No, it's not. I mean, it's not final. It's not the final version of the games. What we're most likely seeing is like maybe the alpha and the beta version of the games.
All we need is Gamma and Delta, and then we can get Valkyrian. You walked right into that one!
Oh my goodness.
You walked right into that one, dude!
I know. Yu-Gi-Oh! Joke for the win. I had a feeling. Well, speaking of Yu-Gi-Oh! Ben, I got something to show you.
What?
Now, I have not shown this upcoming deck that I'm going to be starting in the testing phases soon yet, but the thing is, this will be its first appearance. It took a long time, but a friend of mine didn't want this deck anymore. He gave it to me. I've taken very good care of it. Say hello to the next deck profile that will be coming very soon.
Uh,
You recognize this, Ben?
Tunes?
Yep. My
Oh.
friend gave me this tune deck. What makes this tune deck so different, though, is that in this tune deck is one of the most expensive cards to ever get off a TCG player. I mean, a lot of players have a lot of trouble getting a hold of this card. My friend was able to get a hold of this for when he had the tune deck, but luckily, since the tune deck is in my possession now, I pretty much have control of this card.
Get that thing out of my face!
I don't see it,
I
Ricky.
faced that on Master Duel and I hate it.
Toon Blockbuster Soldier?
Yes.
Oh wow! I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that in Master Duel that thing was on there.
It is.
Well then. But no, yeah, I got a tune deck now, Ben. And just not long ago, I found all the pieces to reassemble my Gravekeeper deck.
Oh, I played Gravekeepers once,
Speaking-
but it's been a long dang time, so I've kind of lost track with that one, unfortunately.
Oh, speaking of which, did you see today's episode of the Progression series?
Oh my!
I haven't watched Yu-Gi-Oh since the freaking GX series, dude.
Like how far into GX did you get? Ben?
I got to the last episode where the Sacred Beasts come back and stuff like that.
Oh, so you only got to season 1.
Oh, I got through season 1.
Okay.
And then I got to season 2.
Okay.
Where at the very end, where Yubel comes around and she has the Sacred Beast in her deck, stuff like that.
Oh, so you watched season 1, 2, and 3 then?
Yes, but I don't remember a lot about it.
Okay.
Did you know that there's a season 4, Ben?
No.
Oh my god.
My god.
Season
I haven't
4
watched
season 4 season 4 of GX is the best season of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. It's never
hold on. I know at the end Yugi and Jaden battle and then Yugi just disappears out of nowhere.
Okay, so you know about that part.
Crowler and Jaden have a rematch.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're not going to tell you who wins it.
Oh god. So I have to rewatch all of GX basically.
No, you don't. You just got to watch season 4. You could catch season 4 of GX on Crunchyroll.
Yep.
I don't even know how the hell to get there.
I'll send you the link later on. I will pretty much.
Not only will he send you the link, he'll send you the Zelda and the Ganon as well.
Oh goodness. All right. Well, we'll get back to that. But yeah, yeah. So the last time that was the last time I actually watched the show. Was up till season 4 was coming out, and I didn't even know it was out back then. So I basically, when 5Ds rolled around, was when the time I basically stopped watching and also left the card game for a while. And then in about when Synchros and XZs and stuff were coming out was when I decided to get back in. And then I was playing up at my local mall for a while, and then I basically just left it alone again until I met you, Ricky.
So basically what you're telling me and Brian is you used to play the game when you first started like us a long time ago, but then you went on a hiatus.
Well, I started when I was 11, didn't really get very far, and I basically never learned it, and then I played and just lost all the time, and that's what happened to me back kind of off and on as I got older. And I basically just never really stuck with it till I met you, Ricky.
Well, the thing is, I mean, I pretty much when you met me, Ben, you wanted to be retrained, and I have trained your butt for a long time.
Yes, I just I wanted to get better, and that was my main goal with you.
Well, well, I will say, Ben. I mean, you are getting very good at that Sacred Beast deck that you built on Edo Pro.
Right. The problem that I have now is that Duel Links was okay, but the problem with Master Duels is it's totally different, and I'm like, what the bleep is this? I mean, I know it's the still basic concept, but they've
Yeah.
added so much junk into it that I don't even know what the hell I'm supposed to do with the game. I mean, it's like, I still haven't learned it, and it's like,
Well, the thing about Master Duel is, I mean, yes, the interface and everything can be a little bit confusing, but the thing is, though, my recommendation to you, Ben, is start out in solo mode and work
yeah,
your
that's what
way.
I've been doing, but I've only got one Uriah in my entire card collection on there, and I'm struggling to make, the rest of the deck because it requires a lot of, stuff to get Uriah, and I don't have enough gems or anything in order to do that, and I don't even know how to hunt gems on that game.
Well, here's a thing. One of the things you can do is when you acquire enough gems, you can purchase the Duel Pass, and the Duel Pass is good for 1 month. And over that month, every time you win or lose, doesn't matter. You
If I
will
win
get
or not.
supplies here and there that includes gems.
So every time you say log in or win or lose or whatever, you basically get gems.
If you win or a duel or you lose a duel, you will get some.
Gems for that.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
One of the things, now when it comes to Master Duel, dude, um, just not long ago, Master Duel was released to both iPhone and Android. So now
Right.
there is an Android version and an iOS version, along with
Yeah.
Switch, PS4, PS5, and Xbox.
Right. Well, I've got it on Steam, and I was thinking maybe after the chat here, you could help me get going on that game, and we go through a couple of things.
Oh, me and you can do some stuff. Yes.
Yeah, because I want your help to grind out some Uriah cards and whatnot.
Yeah. Well,
'Cause
most of
I've
the
got only one of him right now, and I was wanting your help to sort of better my deck out and get some stuff done.
Yeah. Well, most of the cards that you're going to need are in the main Master Duel pack.
Right. Well, we'll
the
worry
re-
about that when we finish
Yeah.
the chat. So.
um
Well, I wanted to get back to my Hackintosh topic a little bit more because the story wasn't actually done when you were talking to Brian. But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah. So what happened was after the XPC bootloader phase, there came a bootloader called Clover, which was what XPC was in the early stages. Now, when Mountain Lion came around, was the early stages of Clover, and what happened was basically they had Clover basically changed a lot of stuff because Apple changed their Apple ID authentication methods in which they log you into like iMessage, FaceTime, the App Store, etc. And their iCloud services are across the board. And it basically meant that you had to so-called, like with Mountain Lion, you could use a file called file NVRAM in your Chameleon Extra folder to log in, no problem done. And the same held true with Mavericks. However, in Yosemite, they did an entire rewrite of the system, and the UI changed, the security methods changed, etc. So basically, what that means is if you couldn't use file NVRAM anymore to log into iMessage, fix all that kind of stuff. So you had to change to Clover, or else you're stuck, and you couldn't use Chameleon anymore as a bootloader. So what you'd have to do is set up Clover, and that was a nightmare back in the day. And today it's even worse. So yeah, after Clover came out, it was a clusterfuck. Basically, you had to set up your. It was a little bit easier than Chameleon, but not by much. So
I'm
anyway,
not surprised.
yeah. So and I still stand by that today. Not gonna lie. And so as time goes on, Clover gets more developed as the new operating systems comes out. And around the time of, we'll say, Catalina, they come up with this new bootloader called OpenCore. And the problem with OpenCore was, when it first came out, was the documentation wasn't really there. The what do you call it? The bootloader was fairly new, so it was kind of hard to get help with it. And you basically just had to know your hardware and basically figure it out for yourself, because the
Hmm.
documentation was very, very lacking.
Yeah.
And it basically was not so easy to work with. And I mean, so if you didn't understand the documentation, it was very unlikely you were going to get it to work. So yeah, and Clover was pretty much deprecated right when on the snap whenever OpenCore came out. So it was kind of frustrating to use at first. But
Hmm.
now with the Dotrania guides and things like that, and OC Gen X, things like tools like that, it's very easy to make a Hackintosh using that. And yeah, so that's kind of the progression. Now, I will say, if you're going to do a Hackintosh, do not use Chameleon or Clover nowadays, because the thing is, like I said, with these newer tools and the Doritania guides, things like that, it is very easy to make one, but you still have to do a lot of the API patching that I talked about, things like that. So if you're going to get into this, do your research. And also, I've been guilty of this before, and I don't recommend it. Do not go making a stupid ass move like I've done and pay somebody to build you an EFI, because you don't learn anything. You don't get any gratification out of that other than paying your money. So it's really not a smart move.
Hmm.
So I would recommend, just if you need someone to help you, by all means, but honestly, take the time out, do your research, and do some figuring out before you actually build yourself a Hackintosh.
Well, I appreciate you giving us that informative Hackintosh discussion, Ben. Thank you very
No
much.
worries. And if any of Ricky's viewers or himself is ever interested, hit me up, because I will do what I can to help. But as far as the patching and stuff like that,
Mhm.
not really my forte. But
um,
yeah, I will. I will get you started at least,
mhm.
and the OS installed, the whole shebang. So
Yeah.
that much I can at least guarantee.
Now, next thing I wanted to discuss is Storm OS.
Yeah, sure.
Just letting you know, people, Ben is the main dev, and I'm pretty much the helper. We've been working on this for a little while. It's going to
Yeah,
take us a little bit more time, but rest assured, the next version of the KDE edition will be out soon.
yes, yes. And I just built an ISO today with Ricky, and also last night. The ISO came out to about 3.2 gigs. We've trimmed this down as far as we can get it. And I know that 3.3 or 3.2 gigs is a lot for most people, but we've trimmed this down as far as I can take it. And unfortunately, I don't know what else we can delete to basically
Hmm.
clear it any further. So
Hmm.
if there's any suggestions you can give us, or whatever, I'll be glad to post a link to our packages list or
Hmm.
whatever. But yeah, maybe after this stream we can go back over it, see if there's
Mhm.
anything that we missed that we can delete. But yeah, anyway, so Ricky, if there's any particular stuff on StormOS that you want to touch on, I'll be happy to touch on that, like its history or anything like that. But yeah.
I also want to bring up the status of Stormfish OS. There have been a few changes when it comes to the team. The head dev Seeker, who is me and Ben's best friend, he is very busy these days. So basically, me and Ben have pretty much are pretty
Taking
much
over the development.
taking over a little bit of the development process. And the good news is that Stormfish OS Debian Edition is coming along okay. It's taken a little bit of time to get the first version of the Debian Edition out. Rest assured, it will be done. The Stormfish OS KDE Edition will be released soon. That one
We're
is like
basically just waiting for KDE Neon to refresh itself.
yeah. Once KDE Neon refreshes itself, we will be able to update the KDE edition, and it'll be pretty much updated completely.
Yeah, and but basically the KDE Neon team. And the Stormfish OS Arch Edition will be updated as soon as possible too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and by the way, speaking of the KDE Neon team people, KDE Neon is an incredible distro. They are an incredible team. If you guys have any time, please support them however you can. They will greatly appreciate it. I also want to say one other thing as well. When it comes to Linux distros, if you all are wondering what good Linux distros there are for like new users, my top 5 recommendations right now are like Linux Mint, Sparky Linux, Peppermint, Endeavor OS, and last but not least, Fedora. Those are my top 5 Linux distributions for new users. I have used each one of these previously over the years. They're all good. They're all solid. Really good people backing them up. And also one other thing, without a Linux community, all these distro developers can't do the hard work that they do to keep these distros going. So I can't stress this enough. Support your distro developers however you can. Thank you very much.
Yes, please. And also, speaking of software support, we are planning to maybe bring up for me a Patreon or something like that at some point to help future development of my distro. So.
Mm-hmm. More on that in the future, though.
Yes, that's a long time from now. Don't worry about any of that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
I also want to say this, people. I know over the last couple months, content has really slowed down on my channel. So much has happened over time. You know, mental health struggles. I just got done recovering from a surgery and all that. Rest assured, the channel will pick up slowly over time. It's just going to take a little while for me to get back into the swing of things. So just be patient. Things will slowly get back into a good rhythm. Anywho, the next topic that I do want to cover is, and I think I might be able to get some insight from you, Ben, about this, is when it comes to getting, Linux information for the new user who's jumping to Linux for the first time, maybe said Linux user doesn't know where to get information on, how to get more involved in Linux, how to find the right distro and stuff, I will say, Ben, the best starting point for any Linux user that is wanting to try Linux for the first time, distrowatch.com.
Yeah, they're very good, and also I would say Google your buns off. Go to the forums, go to the IRC channels, different places like that. They are very helpful in a lot of ways because basically, they're very helpful resources, and you can also come on Discord and get help from people there. There's a lot of different places online to get help.
Mm-hmm.
So go on. Like I said, if you do go on Discord and ask people questions, don't overload them because there are a lot of, I want to say, there are a lot of
people
who kind of get heartened about it because they don't know everything, and they're not really, don't just take them to their limits, you might say.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing I would say.
Mm-hmm. When it comes to Linux news, though, I mean, yes, DistroWatch is one source where you can get Linux news. They got a Linux article section on there. 9 to 5 Linux is another good one. Linux Today is another one. There are good resources out there for a person to learn about Linux and to learn about the FOSS software environment. I mean, if you want to dip your toes into a little bit of this, I suggest, if you're still on Windows, use the Windows subsystem for Linux. This way, you can dip your toes into it first before you jump into the swimming pool of the real thing. And also, I can't stress this enough, you can also try out Linux in virtual machines. It's very easy. Just download VirtualBox, download an ISO, boom, done. Excuse me 1 minute, gentlemen. I will be right back.
I'm waiting for Brian and Ricky to come back. In the meantime, I'm just chatting on IRC channels and chilling on my own, I guess. So yeah, it's just kind of dead air right now, unfortunately, Seeker. I mean, hi guys. Oh,
Hey, Mitty.
let me try. Oh, good. Oh,
Okay, people, I'm back. Sorry about that. I had to
You and me
get
both.
here.
it was kind of dead air while you were AFK, Ricky.
I know. Okay.
Come here. Yes, come here.
Oh,
Nice cat,
hello,
Brian.
kitty. Oh, it's a cutie.
Yeah,
Oh,
what that big midnight is.
wow. Okay. I think I know
Easy.
I think I know what the next topic is going to be for the night.
What would that be?
All right.
Well, here's the thing. We talked about some tech. We
Mhm.
We
talked some
talked
Pokemon.
about
We
some
talked
anime
about some
stuff, etc.
well, we talked about some tech. We talked about some Pokemon. We talked about some Yu-Gi-Oh.
Mhm.
etc.
Let's throw in some retro video game console discussion up in here.
Okay.
Good to
Which one
meet-
should we start with first?
Okay.
Oh,
So, as everybody, so people who are not aware of this, I pretty much have a few retro gaming consoles in my possession. At least two of them. Hold on a minute. Somebody's at my door. Hold on.
You got it.
okay, Ricky. Yeah, Brian. The retroest console that I've ever owned is probably an N64, and before that, a PlayStation 1, the PSX.
Oh, when Ricky gets back, I gotta tell you what I found when cleaning out my storage closet.
Oh, geez. Yeah, we haven't. I've tried looking for my old N64 from years ago. I just don't have a TV that supports it anymore. Because the
Oh,
TV I have in my
dang.
room, yeah, and I don't know where the hell I put the thing, and the TV I have in my room only has HDMI input on it now.
Oh.
Yeah, so I don't got a TV that supports it anymore.
So it only has the red.
I don't
The
have the old connector to support it on my
okay,
TV.
okay. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know what you mean.
so I can't basically run my whatchamacallit, my oh, what is it? My N64, even if I did find it.
Well, the thing is, I mean, N64 is good. It is. But the thing is, though, the one thing about retro consoles that, some people just don't do, but I do this personally. In order to keep a retro console going, you have to keep it clean and maintain it. Otherwise, the whole thing is just going to go.
Oh, I was
Yeah,
waiting for
it
you to
sure
get
will.
back. You want to know what I found in my storage closet?
What?
Super Nintendo, one controller, and A Link to the Past.
Yeah.
How long has that been in there?
I have no clue.
Does it still work?
I don't know because I couldn't find the plug or the cord to the TV to test it.
Oh, so you don't have a power cable or a TV cable?
No, but I still put it on eBay, and I looked, and I put in the description that said I don't know if it still works because I don't have the cords to test it, and I sold it for over $100.
Yeah.
Good job, dude.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, if it's gonna go to a good home,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but hey, at least I let them know that I couldn't find the missing pieces to test it.
if anybody's gonna get that thing to work, somebody out there's gonna get it to work.
And A Link to the Past, best Zelda game ever.
Which that game just got a remake on the. Wait, no, that's
You're thinking of Link's Awakening.
Yeah, Link to the Past has never been remade, hasn't it?
Oh god, just imagine if it did get a remake in Link's Awakening style.
I think also I believe Link to the Past got ported to the Game Boy Advance.
So that thought.
Oh, okay. But no, I mean, the two retro consoles that I have in my possession, though, are an Atari 7800, a Nintendo GameCube, a Nintendo Wii, and an original Xbox. Basically, I pretty much keep them around, playing retro games and all that stuff. But also, I mean, when it comes to what games I usually play on like the Nintendo Wii or the GameCube, I mean, one of my favorite games, has always been, either let me think. 007, Everything or Nothing. It's pretty much one of the only two James Bond games I've ever played. I haven't played any other James Bond game. When it comes to the Atari 7800, Pac-Man. Just straight up Pac-Man. The game. Now, when it comes to the when it comes to the Nintendo Wii, I don't think I have any Nintendo Wii games for it, but just recently I thought of getting some for it, so I'll be doing that at a later date, whenever I can afford it. The original Xbox, unfortunately, I don't know if it works or not. I have all the cables and stuff for it, but unfortunately, the top of the console is not fully fastened to the bottom half of the console. I gotta get some screws or something for that. And plus, I gotta make sure, the inside of it's fully cleaned, and I gotta make sure the battery and stuff works. It's gonna take a long time for me to make sure that I can get that thing to work. But in original Xbox, I've never played any games on that. It's gonna be interesting for when I do get it to work. Um, but I will say having retro consoles is really good. I mean, if you pretty much grew up in the late 80s, early 90s like I did, I mean, you've had to have had at least, one or two retro consoles lying around. So,
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, Ricky, before you came back, the retro consoles that I personally owned were the PS1/PSX or the what do you call it? The N64, which neither of those I can use anymore because I don't own them, and my TV in my room only has HDMI for video, so
so
I
your
cannot run those old things anymore.
so
Basically,
your TV has HDMI out only, and it doesn't have any audio cables.
no.
Okay.
The only retro console I still own that I can use is a Xbox 360, which I like, but that's about as far back as it goes for me.
Okay. Well, when it comes now, I will also say, besides keeping retro consoles, clean and maintained, just making sure, once in a while to get like new controllers and stuff for it, just to keep the thing going. That's pretty much needed because unfortunately, in today's world, retro consoles don't last forever, and they will break down eventually. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, how long have we been on here for?
I got the timer right up here. We've been up for about an hour and 16 minutes.
That's not bad, but yeah, I've pretty much given my share of the talk. So
Yeah. Hold that thought for just a minute, please.
okay. Later. So I will. Things that tough. Oh. Hmm. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Welcome
I'm
back.
back.
Rick. But
All right. Okay, what I want to do is hold on a minute.
yeah,
I just want to check this one thing, and then we can get back to talking about retro consoles and stuff.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Ricky.
Oh yes.
I have something coming tomorrow. It's a capture card for my computer.
Is it a Elgato capture card?
No, it's a cheap one that I found. I couldn't afford an Elgato because it was like 800 and something or 100 and something dollars, and I just said no.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so it's a basic plug into your PC's USB port. Boom, done. That plug's
Well,
also
like I say, simplicity gets the job done.
yeah, exactly. And
the other reason I forgot to mention this, folks, is the one reason why I also collect
Yeah.
retro consoles is not all of them, but some of them can actually have the ability to have a homebrew and stuff on them.
Yeah.
Like for example, basically, if you're basically going to like put homebrew on a retro console for personal use, usually the usual stuff you would put on it is like emulators basically, etc. So that's basically what you would do, is basically emulators and stuff if you want to put homebrew on like either a GameCube or a Nintendo Wii, PS2, PS3, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I've always wanted to try RetroArch, Ricky, but I'm not really familiar with it. So-
RetroArch is actually very easy. It's, in my opinion, one of the
Yeah.
best ways to play old
Play
games.
old games
And
stuff.
plus, there's I think almost 100 game cores in it for each console.
Okay, but my question is, do they have the original Xbox on there?
Unfortunately, RetroArch does not have an Xbox core.
That sucks.
Xbox emulation is still its development
It's
has
still
been
very
extreme.
early stages.
Well, Xbox emulation, it started I think in the mid 2000s, and it has not gained traction at all. There is no good Xbox emulator, unfortunately, not that I know of. Now, when it comes to PS1 and PS2 emulation, that rocket ship has already sailed and taken off. So, PS2 and PS1, emulation can be done for retro. Well, PS1 I know can be done for RetroArch. PS2 emulation, not quite there yet.
Gotcha.
Because I don't think
I
Retro
would,
because I don't think RetroArch has made a PS2 core for PS2 emulation to be done in RetroArch.
but they do have PlayStation 1.
PS1, yes. N64, yes. SNES, NES,
Things like
Genesis,
that.
Sega Genesis, Sega Game Gear, Nintendo
Yeah.
Game Boy Color, Game Boy
So
Advance.
they have the oldest PlayStation version, but not the newer ones.
No, PS3, PlayStation 3 emulation has actually come along really well. I mean, there's been some major developments with it, but at the same time, just buying a PS3 is still better than nothing, in my opinion.
Yeah, but if you want to use RetroArch for playing old PS1 games, you can do that.
Oh yes, yes. The only thing, I mean, here's the thing: installing RetroArch and getting the PlayStation 1 core set up easy.
Yeah,
It's just
Wow.
the biggest challenge is getting the PS1 ISOs or ROMs, which I will not tell you where to get them. You just got to do that research yourself.
but you would help me privately do that.
Privately, privately, yes, but
All right. Well, maybe later tonight we can look into that. Anyway, yeah, I've got like a bunch of a couple of PS1 games like Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories and Jedi Power Battles from Star Wars and a couple of others that I've been meaning to play since I was a young kid, and I've just never.
So wait, do you got actual discs?
They're all scratched up and thrown away. So, I would use the legal copies, but
What?
the thing is, they're all gone now, and they're just not usable.
Well, here's the thing. What you could actually do is, if you wanted to, say,
Yeah.
okay, Seeker, have a good night, buddy.
Night, guys. Or sorry, Night Seeker.
We're not done.
What you were
yet.
saying?
But no, I mean, yes, getting ROMs and ISOs for the PS1 is very difficult. There's not. Okay, I'll wait.
Sorry, Ricky, that was my sister wanting this room. But yeah, you were saying?
As I was saying, getting PS1 ISOs and ROMs is extremely, extremely difficult, almost nearly impossible. The best way you can actually get PS1 games is just rebuying physical discs.
Yeah, it's just money.
The good. I mean, yes, money doesn't grow on trees, and money is very tough right now. But the good news is that PS1 games PS1 games are actually not that expensive if you know where to look.
Right, I get your point, but I would still prefer to grab them after the show if you don't mind.
Yeah, what I'll do is once the show's over, I'll walk you through on how to set up, good old RetroArch
and go from there.
Yeah.
Just a sec, I gotta go into another room. Sure. But yeah. Give me a sec. And also, Ricky, one of my favorite old school games was the Tony Hawk series from 1 through 2, and then 3 was okay, but it wasn't my favorite edition of Tony Hawk. Excuse me. I'm just going down here to the basement.
Oh,
I don't know what happened to Brian. He was looking like he was kind of spazzing out or something.
No, he's in a phone call.
Ah. But yeah, I think we've pretty much exhausted the topic of old games.
Well, for now. I mean, there's other avenues when it comes to retro games, like, for example, the VR technology that's out now that allows you to play retro
Yeah.
games for a VR headset.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
I was watching my buddy Jono on Twitch. He was playing Vader Immortal on his. I don't even know what it was, but I think it was on his computer with VR, and I was like, "Holy cow, this is cool!" I'll be right back. I gotta go get something.
okay. Let me check my email. No, nothing at all.
All right, I'm back, Ricky. I'm just gonna use the bathroom, and then we'll continue on.
Okay, go right ahead.
Oh, these are fun.
Okay. Well, pretty much. Um, um, Ben and Brian are doing their own thing. I just want to give a brief update to the channel, if you all don't mind. Basically, like I said at the beginning of the stream, Linux History Shorties. It's going to take a little bit of research, a little bit more research, but I will have that up. When it comes to what else is coming to my channel very soon, I have a few Linux reports and a few tech reports planned. I still need to get the articles for those people, but once I have the Linux report and tech report articles that I need, some new episodes for Linux report and tech report will be out very soon. Also, the next open chat will be on April 30th. April 30th will be the next open chat. And the reason why I'm doing it April 30th instead of next month is because next month is going to be a busy month. So I might not have time to do an open chat. But if I do have time to do an open chat next month, it will be a small one. Just a small one. But April 30th is the next big open chat, and the topic for that open chat is it's going to be pretty much a really big topic. I don't think I've ever covered this topic before, but it's going to be pretty much on what is the best web browser. Yes, we're going to be talking about web browsers on April 30th's open chat, so keep a lookout for that. But no. Basically, April 30th, open chat, talking about web browsers.
Yeah.
I might be able to get a small open chat done in March if possible. Maybe it all
Right.
depends.
Right.
And Linux History Shorties will the next episode for that will be out soon. Just
Yeah.
a little bit more research on my end, guys, and I will get that episode out to you. We already covered the Linux. We already covered the Linux kernel in episode 1. If you haven't checked that out already, I don't remember what the last episode was, but the next episode of Linux History Shorties that I want to do is I want to devote a episode to Debian. Debian is going to be the next episode. Is going to be the next Linux History Shorties episode. So keep a lookout for that, folks.
I will. That would be interesting. Because I know you and I did a segment on Gentoo once, Ricky.
At one point, yes, we did.
Yeah. You also haven't done Arch yet.
No. What I'm doing is I'm starting with my show, Linux History Shorties. I'm starting from the Linux kernel and working my way up in chronological order.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing. So that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Also, I forgot to mention this, people. Many of you don't remember this because I haven't made a video about this in quite some time. I have a second YouTube channel, folks. I repeat, there's a second channel, though I have to warn you, it is not a tech channel in any way, shape, or form. This channel is completely different. If you want more information on it, I will be releasing an update video very soon explaining more in detail about said second channel. So keep a lookout for that.
Yeah.
Besides Linux History Shorties, the update video, and the April 30th Open Chat, and the possible small mini Open Chat in March, nothing else to report on my channel. I do, though, want to extend a thank you to all 217 subscribers for my channel. I would not be able to make awesome content without you guys. You guys are the heart and the soul of the Linux and tech and Yu-Gi-Oh communities. Without any of you, I wouldn't be able to do this. So thank you very much.
Exactly. And, the same goes for me. I mean, I don't really post that often as I used to, but, I've got 297 people following me, and, that's a huge milestone. I'm almost at 300. So the sooner we get to 300, guys, the better. So if you can please come subscribe to me, Ben Fitzpatrick, that would be great, because I need to get to 300 and maybe even higher. So if anyone out there watching, please subscribe. That would be wonderful. Thank you.
Now
it's like Ricky said, if we both get subscribers, that would motivate us to do a lot more videos and things like this. So.
Now, one thing I do want to bring up as well is one thing I do want to bring up as well is I do plan on bringing distro reviews back to my channel at some point in the immediate future. The reason why I haven't done them in quite a while is because right now I have to pretty much get the distro reviews set up, reset up again. Like for example, I have to have an open box up and all that, and I got to figure out what distros I'm gonna do. It's going to take me a little time, so if I'm going to do any distro reviews, expect the first distro review to come out of my channel at some point towards May or after May, one or the other. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know. I don't know Linux distro it's going to be yet. I got to look into it. I got to do all new research on that. I gotta make sure I update my VirtualBox because I haven't updated my VirtualBox on the MacBook Pro that I'm using in months. I gotta upgrade that to the latest version. And once I get all the research and the updating done, the newest distro review will be out on my channel. And I've had a few thoughts of what distros to review on my channel in the past, and I think it's time for me to make that announcement right here, right now. The first distro review for my channel for 2022, Storm OS.
About damn time, Ricky.
I was going to get around to you eventually. It's just I had to I had to pinpoint when I was going to do it.
Well, I'm glad you're getting to it this year because that distro, I have to say, really needs a hell of a lot more coverage.
Yeah, even though I am reviewing your distro, I have not decided which flavor of it I'm going to review yet. That secondary decision will be announced at a later date. But Storm OS will be the first review on this channel coming in late May.
Yeah.
For the other distro review, which will be coming in early May. Early May. Your distro is late May. For early May's distro review, I am fully announcing that the other distro review for this channel will be of a distro that got me into Linux in the first place and started and helped me to get my start doing Linux content. If it wasn't for this specific distro that I'll be reviewing very soon, I wouldn't be making Linux content right now. The other Linux distro I'm planning to review, Peppermint 10.
I thought you would go with 11 because 10 is kind of old.
Oh, I meant 11. Sorry, people.
You're good, Ricky.
I meant 11. I forgot 10's deprecated.
Yeah, it's fine, Ricky. But yeah, I would say
But no, people, Peppermint 11 will be debuting on my channel early May. Late May will be Storm OS. Flavor to be determined. That decision will become later on. When it comes to what other distro reviews I have in the immediate future, who knows? It all depends.
Right.
It all depends on what the shape of the Linux distro scene is after Ubuntu 22.20. Are we at 22.04 now?
We're not quite there yet. They are now in feature freeze stage. So basically, there are not going to be any new things added to the distro at this point for Ubuntu. So yeah, after that point, it's going to be very soon that we see 22.04.
Mm-hmm. Well, as I was trying to say, any other distro reviews I plan for the channel will be long after 22.04 is released. But the two major ones that have just been announced will be my first two reviews: Peppermint 11 and Storm OS.
Storm OS, yeah. And hopefully, before Ricky does those two videos or streams or whatever he decides to do them in, we will have my ISOs finished for this month at least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because here's the thing, guys. I plan to have regular at least once a month updates to so that way things don't break or go stupid or something like that.
Yeah, because basically, me and Ben, we were working on Storm OS last night, and we found out
Hmm.
that,
I had over 700 updates to the KDE edition.
and plus, I mean, the KDE edition hasn't been updated in months, so
Yeah, about 3 months' time is a little much to leave an Arch distro
Mhm.
like that untouched. So
So
we're going to make sure that whether Ricky's here or not, I am going to be in a good, comfortable position to where the distro will not go unmaintained that long again.
yeah, because the
Because,
thing,
I mean, I tried to do it on my own, and I basically blew up the install to smithereens.
so basically, what we had to do is we pretty much had to go back to the last previous release ISO, update it from there. The good news, people, is that all the updates are finished. We're just in the rebuilding phase right now, getting the final things in place. Once the KDE version is finished, I will make my decision sometime in late April. Late April is when I will make an informative decision on which flavor that I will go after in terms of Storm OS.
Yes, and by then we'll have yet another new version with just updated packages, things like that. And then, because the theming and all that has already been done by our good buddy Razor, and kudos to you, buddy, for that. And basically, we don't have to change that for a good while again. So basically, we're good there. And all we really now have to do is do the frequent Calamares updates and updates to the system, things like that. So.
Yeah, that's pretty much all we have to do. Other than that, folks, KDE is coming along. XFCE is finished.
We just have to maintain that one as we go. And...
Exactly. XFCE was the easier one of the two. KDE has a notorious history for being very temperamental when it comes to working.
Bloated.
Exactly. One of the ideas that we were going to do was get rid of the full version of KDE Plasma and just put the minimal version on it. But me and Ben have decided to not go in that direction unless it's a last resort.
Right. Now, I did look through the entire KDE section of the packages by doing a Pacman-S Plasma, for example. There was a lot of packages listed, but
go on.
And I basically have to re-look at that, and you and I will do that as one of our things after the show and see if we can trim this down a little bit more than we already have. Because right now the ISO online at the moment for people to download is 3.3 gigabytes. And I'm like, what the hell is this? So I know not a lot of people are going to want to download that from me. So I think we're going to have to go back in and double check what we can remove. Because I've already removed all the excess themes and icons and stuff. So that didn't really take it down except for maybe half a gig. So now it's 3.2. So there's still a good bit of chunk we need to do, unfortunately, to get this into the right spots.
Yeah.
But regardless, I don't know what other topics you want us to discuss, but I think, not to be crude, but I think we're pretty much beating a dead horse at this point with what we're talking about. What do you think?
Well, I mean, the thing is,
I mean, we could go for like another hour or two, but I mean, I think we've pretty much reached our or stop?
Well, actually, no, we didn't. There was one other topic that I was saving, and I did not know if you wanted to cover it.
What's that?
I was thinking if me and you could cover the topic of let me think.
What? Mhm.
How easier installing Arch Linux has become.
Well, it's pretty much like DT or any of the other major famous YouTubers would say. It's gotten so damn easy. I mean, stock Arch, to be bluntly honest with you, hell, I would say, the wiki is a good place to start, but
Mhm.
if you don't know your way around Linux and you're just getting into it, I would not go Ubuntu because GNOME 3 or GNOME 40 or whatever they call it now is not a good way to start someone off. I would say if you're going to start
No.
with Linux, I would go with Linux Mint, Manjaro, something like that.
Mhm.
Because I mean, those are good starting distros if you're just getting your foot wet with Linux. But if you're gonna, but maybe after, I want to say 5 months, and you're got your feet wet with the command line, you've got your command prompt or terminal, whatever you call it, learned, then I would say, yeah, go ahead and try Arch. And if anything, I would say start with Manjaro, get used to that command line, get used to what the heck you're doing, and then to take your feet into Arch and
Mhm.
start with that. Now, I would say oh the god, there's Esnix.
Wait, Esnix is here?
Oh, he was just DMing me on Discord.
Oh! I thought he was in the live chat.
I'm just telling him we're still live right now. But anyway, yeah, like I said, if you want to get started with Arch, I would maybe start with their install script first,
Mhm.
because if you don't and you try and follow the wiki, you're going to get all confused. You're going to be fumbling around asking people what the
Mhm.
hell to do, and you're going to be like, "Oh, what?" So I would say the best thing to do is use the script off the live CD.
Mhm.
And here's the thing about the Arch Live CD: it does not boot you to a GUI by default. You don't get a desktop. You don't get any of that stuff. So just be wary of that. You are going to have to follow like the Arch Wiki, which is your friend for installing Arch, or you can follow Ricky's upcoming video, or
you can
or one
try.
of DistroTube's, or Storm OS, or Stormfish OS, or one of those other
Yeah.
heavy, very
Mhm.
good Arch-based derivatives, just to get your feet wet with Arch and really get your hands dirty and just really figure out if Arch is right for you.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty much 8:33 people, 8:33 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We've been pretty much on here for a good while. I want to thank you all so much for coming, so much for tuning in and listening. If you want to see more live streams just like this, then smash that like button to support my channel. Thank you. Also, check out Ben's channel as well. Check out my channel. And also check out Uncle Brian 81's channel. He does some videos here and there when he can. But until then, people, I thank you all so much for listening, so much for watching.
Yeah.
And until then, this is Yu-Gi-Oh! Master 88 saying see you later.
Later, guys.
Thank you for watching. Have a good night, and I'll see you all maybe next month for another open chat, maybe. But on April 30th, we will be doing another one. And also keep an eye on my channel for the upcoming Linux reports, tech reports, and Yu-Gi-Oh content. Have a good night. See you later.
Later. All right, Rick.